Welcome back. Thanks for joining the Televisionary. The Alienist pilot premiere on TNT, 9 o'clock on Monday nights. I'm going to break this down, so I have my notes in front of me. Bear with me, I'm going to take my time on this one. First of all, I didn't realize what the Alienist stood for. And it actually, back in the day, meant a psychologist or a psychiatrist. And I haven't watched a show on TNT since Dallas. But this show, I'm hooked, and I'm not leaving. It was a novel, and then now has become a television show, and it was picked up for 10 episodes. It has Luke Evans and Dakota Fanning, which they are amazing. They're the ones that I know very well in the show. Luke Evans played Gaston on in The Beauty and the Beast, and he is a phenomenal actor. God. And Dakota Fanning, cripes, I remember her from Hide and Seek and a few other films. Oh my God, I can't remember them. But it's a murder mystery period drama. I don't usually watch period dramas, and it's also a drama, crime drama. Basically, it is about a crime reporter, John, who meets psychologist Dr. Laszlo. And they investigate a serial killer in New York City in the 19th century. The creator is Cary Funkenage, and he was a screenwriter on It, which I thought that was amazing. So cool. The commissioner is Teddy Roosevelt. And basically, it deals with mental illness. But it's also gruesome and mutilating. I mean, we're talking, I'm glad I wasn't eating during this pilot. I have ideas like this because I'm a creative writer, and I have worked on, I am still working on novels and short stories and things like that. And I've always been obsessed with stories like this. That's just a writer. That's just the writer in me. Extremely demented for television. But it's TNT. It's not a major network. Vintage, though. From the sets to the cinematography, to the props, to the wardrobes, to the vocabulary, to the accents, to the non-diegetic music. Definitely in that period, you know. Basically, it opens with this little boy seeing this little girl. I'm giving spoilers. This little boy seeing this little girl. Mutilated, murdered gruesomely, eyes gouged out, limbs, everything. He goes to Dr. Laszlo and informs him of this, and then Dr. Laszlo and his best friend John Moores, played by Luke Evans, he reports the murder and goes and looks at everything. They then find out it was a young child, a young man, a young lad dressed as a little girl. Now, already off the bat, that's going to set the stage for this show, because back in that time, that stuff wasn't heard of. They also tackle, like I said, mental illness, which is it's a big part of television and film. And if you watch the movie Split, they go to Bellevue Hospital, and of course they go into, where this man is accused of killing him, and he's banging his head off this wall, and it's taking you in where in almost kind of like American Horror Story Season 2, these mental hospitals where they electric shock therapy, beating, things like that. And it basically, the first half is revolving around figuring this out. And then Miss Howard comes in, who's played by Dakota Fanning, and she is the first woman working in the police department, not as a policeman, but as an administrator, I believe. Which there you can see throughout this show, there's bigotry, there's discrimination, ostracizing, women rights. Obviously, the little boy that dressed like a little girl, I would say that would include, I believe they said it was cross-dressing. So definitely diverse. Then it jumps into mafia men who want to cover things up because somehow this murder is connected to them. And then it shows a scene where the killer is cooking the organs. And I didn't really get into this, but basically, if you haven't watched, definitely take a look. You will be blown away. This killer removes genitals on little boys, which is messed up. And there's no evidence, so they have to dig up the body. And basically, Dr. Laszlo and John have to investigate this back in that time. Laszlo then notices the murder throughout the end of the show, of the pilot, and they go after them. But it's a cold-blooded killer among them. And anyone in that area, anyone in that town is a suspect in New York City. Anyone in New York City is a suspect of these main characters that they've brought in. They even brought in Laszlo, or the boy's mother, who she blames Laszlo because they were trying to get the little boy help, but it didn't work. So it's basically, it's giving us an insight on psychology from back in that time. Superb original pilot. For TNT, for these actors, for these producers, this creator, the writers, I can see why it's been named one of the best shows of this new year. And I was leery on watching it, and then I was glued to the television, literally. I was talking to friends on Facebook and tweeting, and, you know, here I am with this video. So there it is in a nutshell. It's basically, there's this bloodthirsty serial killer that's demented out there killing little boys. Why? Who is it? Those are all the questions that have to be answered in this season. I'm anxious to see the ratings. It was number 2 on Twitter. I might have messed things up. I do apologize. Like I said, I'm just trying to learn new formats for these videos. But yeah, I love a good murder mystery. I love a good serial killer storyline, and this by far tops them both on the murder mystery and the serial killer, with the other subplots and storylines and other characters, and of course throwing in the diversity and, you know, what we even deal with today in today's society. You know, psychology, mental illness is a major player in real life as well, and we have to understand these people, you know. So I look for this show to be great. It's going to do great for TNT. I could see some awards coming up, and definitely on social media. So what are your thoughts? If you watched, if you haven't watched, please go take a look at the pilot. I think they're rerunning it now over the rest of the night. Share this video. Try to get people into this show. Follow me on Twitter at Adam King of TV3. Again, that's at Adam King of TV3. Subscribe to the channel if you're a fan of this show. It's all for you guys. So thank you for the continued love and the support. And we'll see where this goes, because every single character is a suspect. And it's definitely a whodunit, with many twists and turns. My type of show, my type of writing. So, all right, this is for the Televisionary. Thank you again for the continued love and the support. Have a good rest of your week. There is a surprise video coming. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate it in my channel, because it's something big, something I've been thinking about for a while. So stay tuned for that, and other videos as well. All right, see you around, guys.